Poroshenko of the Ukraine, a place that we've all been very much involved in, and you've been seeing it, and everybody's been reading about it. And we've had some very, very good discussions. It's going to continue throughout the day, and I think a lot of progress has been made, and it's a great honor to have you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you very much. Would you like to say something?
That's a great honor and a great pleasure to be together with you, Mr. President. One of the most reliable, supportive, and strategic partner for Ukraine. We really fighting to bring freedom and democracy, and with a very strong support in security and defense, support of our reforms, support of my 45 million nation, the country who is the biggest in the European continent. And I'm absolutely confident that Ukraine is a story of success. And I'm proud to have you, Mr. President, and the United States as a co-sponsor of this story of success. And we very much admire your leadership, your very effective steps, because today it is a two historic days. 5 months of your presidency, and 3 years when we launched the first peace plan of Ukraine. And I'm absolutely confident that our effective coordination can bring the peace to my nation, to my land, and can support our territorial integrity and security.
Well, thank you. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Thank you.
How will you respond to the death of Warmbier?
Thank you. I think Otto is a disgrace what happened to Otto. It's a total disgrace what happened to Otto. That should never, ever be allowed to happen. And frankly, if he were brought home sooner, I think the result would have been a lot different. He should have been brought home that same day. The result would have been a lot different. But what happened to Otto is a disgrace. And I spoke with his family. His family is incredible, what they've gone through. But he should have been brought home a long time ago. Thank you all very much.
Returned to the U.S. last week in what doctors called a vegetative state, saying he'd somehow lost a lot of brain tissue. Some even calling this murder.
There was murder committed here by the North Koreans. They usually take our people as hostages, as our guest just said, and use them as a bargaining chip. And something went wrong here, I suspect, that they overstepped their bounds and killed this youngster. But nonetheless, I think the one thing it will help us with from his death, certainly, it'll strengthen our resolve that we really have to do something once and for all about this regime.
Strong words. All right, joining me now is Governor Bill Richardson. He is the former U.S. ambassador to the UN, a former governor of New Mexico. Sir, thank you for joining us. Let me get your reaction, first of all, to what General Keane said, that we finally have to do something for real about this now.
Well, there should be a response from the Trump administration. I think their policy of helping Otto, getting him out, being aggressive was good. I give them credit for that. But I think we have to be realistic. We still have 3 more American hostages there. There's 1 Canadian. We need to get them out. I think we have to demand a full investigation of what happened by the United Nations. We need to get North Korea to disclose why was this man, Otto Warmbier, a young boy actually, in a coma for a year. It was not botulism. It was not a sleeping pill. He might have been tortured. He might have been abused. We don't know the facts.
Okay.
We need to get to the facts.
But you mentioned getting the other 3 hostages out, and there are not a lot of Americans know that there are still 3 other Americans who are being held there. What do you think is the best way to do that? Because obviously the last administration thought that it was a good idea not to, anger the North Koreans by talking about this. At least that's what the family has said. President Trump, it seems, moved quickly to get Warmbier out. That didn't, it wasn't the outcome that the family wanted. So what's the right action for the 3 remaining?
Well, Melissa, I've been trying to get Otto Warmbier out for a year. I had close to 20 meetings with the North Koreans in the last year. I sent a delegation there. The Obama administration did try to get him out. Susan Rice tried to help, but there was a transition. The North Koreans were waiting to deal with Donald Trump. The problem is that the North Koreans are a closed society, and there's no transparency. There's a cult of personality.
Wait, I just want to ask you before we run out of time, sir. I'm so sorry. I want to go back to what you just said. What changed, in your opinion, if you were working on this effort so hard? Because that's interesting. That's new information to us. What, in your opinion, changed that he was able to get out?
I think that President Trump deserves credit. They found out, the Trump people, the State Department, that he was in a coma. And they sent an airplane and demanded that he come out. The North Koreans agreed because they knew they had a disaster on their hands. They didn't want the young man, possibly
22-year-old college student, passing away just days after he was released from the communist country in a vegetative state. Kelly Wright joins us now with the heartbreaking story. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning to you both. Heartbreaking indeed, and we are told that Otto Warmbier died with his family gathered around him, showing him their constant love and support. North Korea sent Otto home last Thursday. He was not the healthy young college student that he was a year ago. Instead, he was in an unresponsive state of wakefulness. The North Koreans say it was caused by botulism, but American doctors say there were signs he had been severely beaten. In the short time that he was home, his parents say Otto's countenance had changed from sadness to peacefulness, that their son knew he was finally home with the people, and in a statement, they said, unfortunately, the awful, torturous mistreatment our son received at the hands of the North Koreans ensured that no other outcome was possible beyond the sad one we experience today. We thank everyone around the world who has kept him and our family in their thoughts and prayers. We are at peace and at home, too. President Trump expressed his concern for the family and his disdain for the North Korean regime.
He spent a year and a half in North Korea. A lot of bad things happened, but at least we got him home to be with his parents, where they were so happy to see him, even though he was in very tough condition, but he just passed away a little while ago. It's a brutal regime, and we'll be able to handle it.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson offered prayers as well for the family. In a statement about Warmbier's death, Mr. Tillerson added this: "We hold North Korea accountable for Otto Warmbier's unjust imprisonment and demand the release of 3 other Americans who have been illegally detained." Now, the travel agency that